I have been using the last 2 weeks to my advantage. Vlogmas was not good for my mental health. Also, I'm in a boot. Can you see it? It's a beginner needlepoint kit. I decided to write down my 2026 goals in Notion. This is the first snow that I've at least seen in Salt Lake City. We went to the movies tonight as a little date night. We went and saw The Housemaid. Happy New Year, you guys. Welcome to the first vlog of 2026. Today is like the actual first day of the new year for me, even though it's January 5th. I feel like for me, the new year and like the whole resetting for the year, prepping for the year, things of that sort happen the first day back to work after our little break. I wasn't off the entire 2 weeks from pre-Christmas to New Year's, but work pretty much like dies down during that time frame, so you can just chill out, do any admin tasks that you need to do. No one really is like pinging each other. Teams chats aren't going off, Slack chats aren't going off, no one's sending emails. It really does die down for the 2 weeks between beginning of Christmas and then New Year's. Today we're jumping right back into work full force, which is why I'm saying that like I feel like my new year doesn't really even start till January 5th because that's when work picks back up. And let me tell you something, I have been using the last 2 weeks to my advantage to completely lounge out and like fully reset, but not reset in a way that's clean, get things done, organized. Reset in a way that's just lounge on the couch, do fun hobbies, hang out with family, eat good food. I will have to say that was nice for 2 weeks, but it is also nice to get back into a routine, and I'm looking forward to getting back into a routine. I feel like it's gonna take this like full week to fully get back to it, but I spent the last 2 weeks like really resetting and just vibing out and enjoying the peace and quiet and not all the chaos before the chaos resumed. I did get sick for like a good chunk of that time. Something went around this year during Christmas time frame. I think it was flu A, flu B, strep. I think there was another one that was going around. I didn't have any of those. I had this like really weird mystery virus that basically just made my throat hurt really bad, and then I just felt like super tired and lacked a lot of energy, but it went on for like a week. I got it Christmas Eve and it lasted. I honestly, yesterday was the first day that I actually felt like I had my full energy back, which is ironic because yesterday I was down bad in other ways, which we'll get to in a little bit. But the sickness itself lasted like 4 or 5 days, but then I feel like it took me 4 or 5 more days even after that to feel like I had my energy back and like I'm coming back to life. Yeah, I did like reset my body and my mind, but I honestly was also like forced to slow down because I was pretty sick and down for the count and like just laying on the couch every single day at my parents' house. Kind of a blessing in disguise, I guess. I mean, I wish I wasn't sick, but it did force me to slow down and just like chill out, which now I'm appreciative. I feel like when that was happening for a week and a half there, I was losing my mind because I just don't like to sit still. I don't like to feel lazy. Like I want to be up and doing things. I literally couldn't do anything. I just sat on the couch all day. So it forced me to stay put, sit down, and slow down. I got sick because we went to visit my grandparents the week prior, like leading up to Christmas Eve. We went from Friday to the Tuesday, and then Christmas Eve I think was on Wednesday. So like the 23rd was the day that we got back home, and I think that we went to Kansas like the 19th or the 20th, something around that date range. But my grandpa was actually sick when we were there visiting him. He had some sort of like weird virus. So that's how I got my virus, was from my grandfather. He also got my aunt and my uncle sick. I'm glad that everyone's feeling better and like we're all back to 100% health, but definitely there was some sort of like Christmas family virus that went around the household during that time frame. But visiting like family in Kansas was such a fun time, and like I just always love going back there. I just can't even explain it. My mom grew up on a farm in Kansas, and it's so different than the lifestyle that we lived growing up and like the lifestyle I live now. So whenever we go back to Kansas, it feels like a breath of fresh air, like in the best way possible. That's the only way that I know how to describe it. And it was fun because John has been to Kansas before once, I think a year and a half ago, 2 summers ago, something like that. So he got to go back for the second time, but it was actually my brother-in-law's first time on the farm. So it was fun showing him around Kansas and my mom's hometown and watching my sister show him around and stuff like that. I don't know. It was just really wholesome. Really enjoyed spending the time with family. Then, like I said, we got back the 23rd. I was down for the count on the 24th. Spent pretty much the entire time in Virginia laying on the couch ill. We got back to Salt Lake City, I think the 28th or the 29th. No, that's a lie. I think we got back to Salt Lake City on, the 28th is when we flew out. So we had 2 days here, and then it was New Year's Eve. We just did something small and cute and nothing crazy for New Year's Eve. We had a couple of friends over, and then we went out to dinner at like 9 o'clock, late dinner. Came back here, watched the potato drop, the Idaho potato drop, because I honestly did not even register the fact that we wouldn't be able to watch the ball drop unless we watched it at 10 p.m. because the ball drop's in East Coast time and we're in Mountain time. So we fully missed the ball drop, and instead of just like replaying the ball drop, everyone wanted to watch the potato drop, so we watched the Idaho potato drop at midnight, which was really funny, but we watched like a live stream of it on YouTube. So that was nice, very casual. New Year's Day, it was very muggy outside, so we just like hung out, or I hung out actually in the apartment. John went skiing with his friend. Kind of where we've been for the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Well, it's been a while since I picked up the vlog camera actually, because I took a break after Vlogmas, because Vlogmas kind of like destroyed me. It sounds bad. This is really dramatic, but Vlogmas was not good for my mental health, and I don't know if I'll be doing it again. I feel like vlogging that many days in a row, one, is just a lot to keep up with, and two, I was playing the comparison game, which is not something that you should do. If you guys are content creators and you do social media, you know that the comparison game is literally the thief of joy with social media. Like, if you compare your videos and your view count and your subscribers to other people that like are what you would consider similar to you, it will literally destroy you mentally. And I was playing the comparison game, and my views for Vlogmas were honestly so unbelievably low. I've been doing YouTube for like 4 years now, 5 years now. I think it's 5, almost 6. And I don't think my views have ever been this low, like since I first started my channel. The first year that I started my channel, that's when my view count was like super low, and I feel like Vlogmas and like leading up to Vlogmas, my views were how they were when I literally first started my channel, which is just such a defeating feeling when you've been doing something for so long. They say keep going, like keep trying, just keep creating the content, and like you will see the growth. And while I have seen the growth and I appreciate everyone that watches all my videos, this is not me being unappreciative of everyone that watches my videos and like the people that are loyal. It's just that over time, like I said, you start to play the comparison game, and like you watch people that kind of started when you started and like you would consider the same level as you like really take off. And while I'm like obviously so happy for them, it does destroy you mentally, because it's just like, okay, what am I doing wrong, and why am I not seeing the same growth or success that they're seeing? Vlogmas like really kicked me even further when I was already down on the ground. Just continued to beat me up. So I don't know if I'll ever be doing Vlogmas again. I say that now. Yeah, I don't know. That's just like my thoughts on Vlogmas. So I haven't picked up this camera since then because I needed like a little mental break reset. I wanted to pick up the camera when I felt fully prepared to pick up the camera and mentally back in a good headspace with YouTube. I've been posting a lot on TikTok, and I have actually really been enjoying it. I've been loving short form content. I also just feel like it's easier to grow over on TikTok, and while that shouldn't be like the only reason that you create content, there is satisfaction in seeing your hard work pay off. And I feel like for me right now, like TikTok is just where I'm seeing that and where I'm having the most fun creating content. YouTube will always be my #1 love. Love you, YouTube. I promise I'm not going anywhere. TikTok was like a breath of fresh air for me when I definitely needed it. So I took a little pause from YouTube post Vlogmas. I'm back. Mental health is better. I'm ready to create content again. I'm thinking of different strategies for like how I want this YouTube channel to look in 2026, whether it's just doing a week in my life every single week and uploading that, and so you guys get more of like the chatty long form content, versus on TikTok it's obviously short, sweet. There are just different types of content over there. So I'm debating, like, do I want to do like just week in my life vlogs over here and post a week in my life vlog every single Sunday and do that for the remainder of 2026? Do I want to mix it up and throw some themed vlogs in there? Do I want to start doing like booktube type vlogs or like cozy hobby vlogs? Do I want to throw in like finance videos in there? I definitely want to do like a wedding planning series, which I've talked about before. That'll be kind of fun, but I really have no updates there anyways for the time being, so wedding planning videos won't be coming anytime soon. But I don't know, I'm just like rethinking my strategy for 2026 and like what I want my channel to look like moving forward and what will be good for my mental health from a long form content standpoint, if that makes any sense. The only people that are really gonna understand this rant are people that also create content, so if you don't create content, you may not understand this, but like that's just where I'm at with the whole YouTube situation. But we're back. Gonna be filming a full week in my life this week. Like I said, this is like the first week of the new year for me, so this will be like my reset the house type of week. As you can see, the Christmas tree is still up. This needs to come down this week. We need to put away our Christmas stuff, but I need to go out and like buy a Tupperware container to put Christmas stuff in, because We unfortunately did buy way more than we were anticipating, and now I need a Tupperware container to store it for future. So yeah, I want to take down all the Christmas stuff. I want to mop the floors at some point this week. Need to do some laundry. I don't know. It's gonna be just like a typical week in my life, but also kind of resetting during the new year. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. I'm excited to be vlogging again. I'm excited to be picking up the camera again, despite the fact that I just went on that whole rant about how I was feeling very discouraged and in a bad mental state with YouTube. I'm back. We're bringing positivity to the channel, and that's the only time I will talk about that. Oh, we'll also like maybe walk through my goals and vision board for 2026, because I created like a mini vision board and then I also wrote out some goals, so I think that could be fun to go over in this video, but we'll have to do that a little bit later on. I just wanted to quickly pick up the camera, say welcome back, give you guys a little update on where I've been, how Christmas was, how New Year's was, and everything of that sort. And I'm actually very excited to get this vlog started, so hope you guys enjoy. I just got off of work. I think there's like 5 minutes technically left in the work day, but I sent off my last email and I'm stepping away from the work laptop. I've literally been in front of it all day. When I said I was gonna hit the ground running today, I wasn't kidding. So I need a breather. I have about 45 minutes before I need to head to acupuncture, so I figured I'd pick up the camera and chat. Acupuncture is much needed today. I went skiing on Saturday and had the worst wipeout that I think that I've had in years skiing. I just don't really like, I do wipe out. That's not what I'm saying. I feel like I fall pretty like gracefully when I fall skiing now though. I've only had like maybe 3 to 4 bad wipeouts in the last 3 years, and Saturday was one of the worst because I'm literally, my entire body is sore from it. I went skiing with friends, and right now there's not a ton of snow in Utah. It's definitely getting better, but the conditions aren't great at some resorts, and we did Solitude on Saturday because it's one of the unlimited resorts, and we're like, might as well not waste one of our days if the conditions are going to be shitty. So we just did Solitude. It's also good because I need to knock off the rust before we go on any like ski trips this winter and like really kick off the ski season. All of that to say, I went to Solitude on Sunday with friends and we went to the park, which if you ski or snowboard, you know that in the middle of the resorts there will be this like little small section, typically gated off, that has jumps that you can do, different like, I don't know, tricks, things of that sort. I have no business being in that park, but one of my friends was like, we should do this and hit this little box jump. Like, it's super easy. It'll be fun. It's just something to do. Switch it up. I was like, okay, sure. Looks easy enough. First friend goes, jumps off, lands perfectly. Second friend goes, jumps off, lands perfectly. I'm like, perfect. If they can do it, I can do it. I got this. I don't keep my tips up when I jump off the box. So my left tip, as I'm jumping off the box, my left tip digs into the snow. I trip over my ski, obviously, face plant. Keep in mind, it's pure ice because we've had like no snow in Utah. The left side of my body like slams against the ground, so from my hip down to my knee hurts so bad. I just lay there for literally like 10 seconds analyzing whether or not I can, 1, move, 2, whether or not I broke something, 3, what hurts the worst. Obviously I came to the conclusion that I was fine, nothing was broken, but from my hip to my knee was going to be so insanely bruised after this fall. And I was correct. My knee is massive currently still. It's like a little swollen. I've been icing it like every few hours for the past 2 days, but it's very black and blue. My hip, thankfully, not bruised at all. Also, when I fell, I like hit the ground weird, so like my head went back. So the upper part of my back through my neck hurts so bad. It's like super tense. The muscles are just like this, and therefore acupuncture literally could not come at a more perfect time because I need her to stick me with all those little needles and give me the cupping and work this huge knot out that's now in the back of my neck because I decided to be an idiot and thought that I was 13 again and could do a box jump when I am in fact almost 30 and should not be doing a box jump. So I'm in park retirement. I will never be entering that section of the resort again. It was cool to try. I'm really glad that I could walk away and live to tell the tale because it could have ended so much worse than it did. Not to mention that it was right underneath the chairlift, so when I face planted, I had an entire audience because the chairlift was very full. So it was really humbling, and I'm really sore because of it. I won't be doing that again. Also, I'm in a boot. That's like another thing I forgot to update you guys on. I think I talked about, can you see it? Yep. I think I talked about my foot injury in previous vlogs, like maybe over Vlogmas, but I essentially have like some version of Achilles tendonitis and I've had it for several months. My doctor spent the last 2 months trying to fix it. We tried to do everything to avoid the boot, and ultimately I just ended up in a boot anyways because we couldn't resolve it. So I'm currently in a boot, hobbling around. I've been in the boot for about 2.5 weeks now. I have to be in the boot for 6 weeks, so I have like basically a month left in the boot. I've been in a boot before, so this is not new to me. The only part about it is it's just annoying that I have to take it off and on several times throughout the day. Like if I want to sit on the couch, I take the boot off because I don't need the boot on the couch. If I want to go to bed, have to take the boot off. If I want to change clothes, have to take the boot off. It's just annoying in that sense. If it fixes the issue, I will praise the boot. That's all I want, is for the issue to be fixed so that I don't have to like literally limp around my apartment and I can get back to my regularly scheduled programming, aka Pilates, working out, all of the things. Oh, and you may be wondering, Hannah, if you're in a boot, why did you ski on Sunday? My doctor told me it was fine. I asked about it. I said, does this mean that I can't ski? And he goes, well, technically, you're wearing a boot when you ski that's hard shell and keeps your foot still. So I don't see why you couldn't try it. If it was any other injury, I'm pretty sure he probably would not have recommended that route, but I saw no harm in trying it. He saw no harm in trying it, so I tried it out. Didn't hurt my foot, so I'm going to continue doing it because my foot is like so stabilized in a ski boot. If you've ever worn a ski boot, you know what I'm talking about. Most uncomfortable thing on the planet. More updates, guys. I'm full of them. I'm sure there'll be more coming throughout the week. But I sat down on the floor to give you guys a crafting update, not necessarily a health update. That just came out of my mouth. So let's talk about a hobby that I've been really into recently. You can probably tell what it is based on the bag, the threads, and this little nifty thing here. I am officially in my needlepoint era and I am obsessed with it, to say the least. This is probably the most expensive hobby that I've picked up in a very long time, other than skiing. But skiing I've been doing since I was little, within my adult years. Most expensive hobby I've picked up in a long time, because this is not a cheap activity, guys. I will warn you, I'm going to talk about how much I love it and that I'm obsessed with it and that I think you should do it, but proceed with caution, because once you go on the website and you realize how much canvases cost, and then you have to buy the thread, the scissors, the needles, the crossbars, not crossbars, what are they called? Maybe crossbars, cross stitch bars, something like that. You're gonna realize that it adds up really fast and it's not a very cheap hobby, so just proceed with caution. I actually got a ton of needlepoint stuff for Christmas, so I'm gonna do a little haul. First is I got the Morgan Julia Designs beginner needlepoint kit. John got me this as one of my Christmas gifts and I'm actually obsessed with it. It's such a good place to start. If you guys are beginner needlepointers or want to get into needlepointing, just go to Morgan Julia Designs and buy one of the beginner kits. It is so worth it. Even if you don't like one of the designs, just pick the design that you like the most and run with it, because it's such a good place to start, to the point where I'm thinking about just like going and buying another one of her beginner canvases, not necessarily the whole kit, but beginner canvases, just to continue practicing before I get into these other canvases, which I'll show you in a second. But for my first one, I did this, and I think that this is called the Continental stitch, and then I did some sort of like diagonal weave thing. Couldn't tell you what this is called, guys. I'm still very new at this. But I just finished this morning, and they call this a lowercase finish in needlepointing, because an uppercase finish would be actually finishing the project. So I have to decide what I want to do with this one. Ideas of what I could do: some people just cut this out and frame it. That could be fun, although I don't really know if like this is my vibe to frame in the apartment. Some people make their needlepoint things into pillows, coasters. I've seen keychains, dog collars, belts, magnets, which I think is what I'm going to do with this one. I think I'm going to try to self-finish it and turn it into a magnet. Some people like also ship off their canvases to other places so that the other places can finish it for them, because it is actually kind of a very tedious process to finish a needlepointing project. Like whether you want to put on a pillow or something of that sort, it's not the easiest process, but I am very convinced that I can learn, and I feel like there's no better place to start learning how to finish my own projects than on my beginner kit anyways, because if you look closely enough, there are some mistakes here, but because it's my beginner first needlepointing canvas, I'm not too worried about it. Also, I always thought that I was going to be the type of person that was like, the back has to be neat, the back is part of my business. No, this is what the back looks like. Not perfect. Back is none of my business. As I go on and my skills become more advanced, I will be concerned with the back of the canvas again, but for the time being, back is none of my business, as long as the front looks really pretty, which I think it does. So I think that I'm going to turn my first needlepoint project into a magnet to go on the fridge because I just feel like this would be really pretty on the fridge. I'm really happy with it. I love the little bag it came in. Perfect little starter kit, perfect little starter canvas. I'm obsessed. It did take a little bit to come in, so if you do end up ordering from Morgan Julia Designs, actually these other canvases are from hers too, anticipate waiting at least 3 weeks for them to get delivered. I think she like hand paints all of the designs, and she's like a really popular needlepoint store. She actually has a physical location in St. Pete's, Florida and Jersey City, which I'm so upset about. I'm like, I wish we still lived in Jersey City, solely for the fact that I could walk down the street to go to the Morgan Julia Designs Needlepoint store. Like, how cool would that be? Yeah, anticipate like 3 or 4 weeks for it to get delivered. It did take quite a while, but it is cool that she hand makes them, and I'm obsessed. These other 2 canvases I got during Black Friday, so they were kind of like a Christmas gift to myself. They came on Christmas, which is why I called them a Christmas gift. And these are ones that I want to do so well on, so I kind of want to save them until I'm really good at needlepointing, which is why I said that I might want to get another beginner canvas, because I think these are a little bit more advanced. And I'm not saying that I couldn't do them, but I think it'd be fun to like play around with the different type of stitches for these and things of that sort. So the first one is this New York canvas. So cool. I think on the website it advertises it as a coaster. I do think this is a little big for a coaster, so I'm thinking that I might frame this one along with the other one that I'll show you in a second, and it'll be like a little ode to New York. It also shows you all of the colors of threads that you have to get on here, so I need to go to my local L&S, aka local needlepoint store. I'm learning all of the abbreviations and the terms, so if I'm annoying, I apologize, but I'm trying to get it correct, guys. I'm part of this little community that's honestly so much fun to be a part of. And I need to get the different threads for this canvas. So this is the first one that I got. I think it's so cute. This next one is my favorite though. And this one I'm definitely saving until I get better because I'm obsessed with her, and I just like don't even know how or what I want to do with this one, but it's a bar cart, but New York themed, so I think that these 2 could honestly be so cute together. Like if I put it in one frame on top of each other, it could be like a little ode to New York art moment. But Morgan Julia Designs is really known for her bar carts. She makes a bunch of different ones for different holidays, different cities, different themes. So she had a really cool Christmas one. She has one for Philly, Boston, Chicago. She has one for St. Patrick's Day, Valentine's Day. I think she just has like some generic ones. She has one for weddings actually with a bride and a groom, which I thought about getting. I think that could be a fun one to do. But I think it's so cute. I do think that this one is like very, very tedious. I mean, look at the number of threads that you have to get for this one. So I might be saving these 2 for when I'm really good, but I am just obsessed. I love this new little hobby that I've picked up in 2026, end of 2025 technically, and I do not see myself giving it up anytime soon, even though it is pricey. But I am obsessed, and like my entire For You page right now is filled with nothing but needle pointers. So different needlepoint projects, Whip Wednesdays, Stitch Mail Mondays, Finishing Fridays. I'm part of this really cool niche community on TikTok, and I'm absolutely loving it. So this is my current obsession and a hobby that I'm really into in 2026 so far. So stay tuned for more updates. I love it, and I feel like it's just also a good way to get me off my phone. I could sit down and do these for literal hours and not get bored. I'm now going to get ready for acupuncture, and we'll head there shortly. Awesome. A bloom first thing this morning is much needed. Your girl is tired. Good morning, you guys. Happy Tuesday. Yeah, I think today is Tuesday. I'm quite tired today, hence the Bloom energy drink first thing in the morning. I typically don't drink caffeine first thing in the morning. I like a good tea, a cup of water, and caffeine isn't really the first thing that I reach for, but I had such a hard time getting up out of bed this morning that it was definitely needed. I just didn't sleep that well last night. Don't love that for me, but the Bloom energy drink definitely helped a little bit. I feel like it kind of gave me a kick in my butt, and I've actually been really productive at work so far today, but I have a little bit of a gap in meetings, so I figured I'd pick up the camera and say good morning, happy Tuesday. Today is like a very meeting light day. I already knocked out one of the meetings that I had, which is just a one-on-one where I kind of chat with one of my coworkers. The next 2 meetings are pretty easy as well because I've already set the agenda for them, so it's just a matter of like taking notes, capturing action items, and like sending out the notes after, and then obviously like following up with people if needed. But pretty self-explanatory. So we like today. Today's a light day, which is always really, really nice. I feel like this is gonna be a really chatty vlog, but honestly, I'm not mad about it because I just feel like the first vlog of the new year needs to be chatty. I just feel like we have a lot to catch up on, obviously. This is a chatty one. Apologies if you guys don't like chatty vlogs, but this is just how it is and how it's gonna be. So while I have a little bit of downtime from work, I figured we could kind of like talk about my 2025 reflection and then also talk about my 2026 goals. I have a whole 2026 goal page in my Notion that I'll share, but just really quick chatty wise, I'll talk about just my 2025 reflection. I feel like 2025 honestly was such a good year and there were so many new chapters open in 2025 that I'm so excited about. We obviously moved temporarily in a way to Utah and found out that we really like Utah. We would have never known that if we hadn't just like taken the leap, taken the risk. And since then we have made some great friends here. We've done some cool things and we just have like so many cool things planned for our time here in Utah. So that was something really cool that happened in 2025 that obviously was a little bit unexpected because we didn't plan that at the beginning of the year. At the beginning of the year we were in Denver. So it's just so crazy to see how far that we've come. Like we started out the year actually in Virginia. We drove to Denver again, spent some time in Denver, and then we on a whim moved to Utah because we wanted to see what it was like, and we've been here ever since because we really like it. So that was something cool that came out of 2025. Other cool things that came out of 2025. Oh, obviously got engaged. That is a very big one for 2025. Definitely a record year just because of this simply. Such a fun chapter in life and such a fun phase. Well, not really a phase. I feel like a phase is not a good word. I feel like a chapter, like such a fun chapter to be in right now. We went to a lot of new places. Obviously visited Utah for the first time, visited Maui for the first time, went to my second national park ever. That was fun. Did a lot of like family vacations. My sister got married. That was a big one for 2025. What else? Oh, I passed my PMP. I don't know if I ever gave the vlog an update on my PMP exam because I felt like by me talking about it, I was like literally jinxing my chances. So I talked about it for a while and then I just went like radio silent because I failed my very first PMP exam and then I had to retake it, I kid you not, a week later because, or maybe 2 weeks later, because my window for when I could take it was closing and then I'd have to retake the entire course again in order to take the test, and I didn't want to do that, so I literally had to take the exam 2 weeks after I failed it, and I just like really went hard and started watching a ton of videos about how to pass the PMP and learn like the strategy for answering questions. It wasn't so much the content that tripped me up, it was like the wording of the questions and like the strategy behind how you answer these questions is what trips people up the most and what tripped me up. So once I learned like how I should be answering the questions, it was smooth sailing after that. I like passed with flying colors, so different from the first time I took the exam. So that was really exciting. Obviously that was like a big career goal of mine because it's just going to open up so many more opportunities and also just will help me in this current role because while I am learning project management skills on a day-to-day basis, I do think it's good to have like a fundamental core knowledge and understanding of the principles used, and also like moving forward, if I were to ever switch jobs, this will be not only something good to have on my resume, but like also just something that I can refer back to and I can pull from the back of my head if needed, because every company does, and even not even company, just like every team and every department and every company handles like project management different. So my current role is like very flexible with project management. We do agile project management, but it's very flexible, whereas other jobs in the future or other companies in the future that I may jump to eventually may have a stricter project management style. So it's just good to have that knowledge and that core foundation in the back of my head that I can pull from whenever needed. So that was something that was really exciting that kind of happened towards the end of 2025. I'm trying to think of what else. I don't know. I made some new friends in 2025, which I just feel like making friends as an adult is like really hard. And typically you do need like a connection to make friends. And that's how I made my new friends, was through connections. But it's just kind of cool to meet new people as you get older, because as of right now, like a lot of my friends were from high school and college. Even when I lived in New York, they were all from college. Like I don't think I made a single new friend when I lived in New York, and moving out of New York has like really forced me to branch out and meet new people, kind of take the risk. And like I said, the new people that I have met are from connections that I did have previously, so that is something that I feel like I didn't just like go to a workout class and make a friend, but it is cool that I've like made new friends. And kind of developed new relationships in 2025. So yeah, those are some things that I'm just like really proud of that I accomplished in 2025, and it makes me really excited for 2026 because I'm like, okay, if all those good things could happen in 2025, I feel like 2026 is going to be a big year too. While I may not have anything like ginormous planned for this year, like I'm not planning on taking any crazy exams or doing anything like that, and I'm not getting engaged again, obviously, because we already did that one. We did our big one, but I have a lot of friends that are getting married this year. We have a lot of trips planned. We're celebrating other people. We are enjoying our time here. Like, I just feel like in terms of that, it's gonna be a really good year, and I'm very excited for that. Knock on wood, because watch me say that and then like shit hits the fan. But I think for the most part, it's gonna be a good year. So I figured we could chat through my 2026 goals. Let me share my screen really quickly if I remember how to do that. I decided to write down my 2026 goals in Notion. I'm gonna give the disclaimer that I am not like a very strict goal person. Like if I put it down on paper, I absolutely have to achieve it or I'm gonna beat myself up. I more so put down goals because I think it's fun to put goals down on paper and also reflect at the end of the year of like what I achieved. I feel like it helps me remember like what I've worked towards this year and like what I've achieved at the end of the year, if that makes sense. So I'm not a strict goal person. I think that goals are fun and should be fun, and I feel like if you take goals way too seriously, that's when they become not fun and like unenjoyable. So I feel like for 2026 we should all just like make goals fun again. There's no need to make them super strict or aggressive for any reason, in my opinion. I kind of did these by category. So for health, I want to get my PCOS and hormones under control. For the most part, I feel like they're under control, but I still like have my moments where things are not quite right. That's all I'll say. And I am working with a new doctor in Salt Lake City to get everything figured out. So that's a big goal for 2026, is just to get like that part of my body like very regulated and on a good routine and figure out like what works for me moving forward, because as of right now I've been throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks, and so far things have stuck, and the things that haven't stuck I've removed obviously, but I just feel like I need more of like a confirmed good routine, and like I need to work with people that have actually studied this instead of like trying to figure it out myself. So get my PCOS and hormones under control. 2, I want to get monthly facial and focus on skincare. I've talked about this a few times, but like I think for 2026 and 2027, I really want to focus on my bridal glow up is like the best way to put it, I feel like. But not even just for my wedding. I even want to feel this way post-wedding. I just want to like feel like the best version of myself. So that includes not growing out my hair, but like making my hair thicker, focusing on hair health, and then also focusing on my skincare. Right now I feel like my skin is doing pretty well and I'm in a really good routine with it, but there are definitely some insecurities and flaws that I have about my skin that I just want to tackle. So I feel like getting a monthly or even like a bi-monthly facial will really help. I want to start working with some sort of esthetician and expert that can help me achieve my goals. 3 is Invisalign. This one's kind of a question mark. I had braces when I was in high school, and then I wore my retainer for a few years after that. Kind of stopped wearing my retainer, as we all do. I do have permanent retainers on my bottom and my top, but my teeth have started to shift a little bit, and I feel like it's nothing that anyone could really notice unless you stare at my smile or stare at my mouth when I speak, but it's something that I notice and that really bothers me. And I don't know, teeth are just like a big thing for me. I feel like teeth and your eyes maybe are like the first things that I feel like your face in general is like the first thing that someone notices about you. Your eyes, your nose, your mouth, and like specifically your teeth, because when you're speaking, your mouth is a focal point. So I just like want to fix the insecurities that I have about my teeth. I'm not going to point them out, because if I point them out, you guys will notice them as well. But I think Invisalign may be in my future this year, and I don't think I'd be in Invisalign for a very long time, but I more so want to get the Invisalign to fix the issue so that I can wear a permanent retainer again and just keep the issues away permanently. 4th is make 1 new meal per month. I obviously want to try to eat healthy. I'm trying to like really cut back on sugar and finding ways to like eat real meals again. I go in waves of I'll eat really healthy for a while and then I'll fall off and like start eating really crappy, and then I'll eat healthy again and I'll eat really crappy. But for the most part, I like want to try to eat healthy, and I feel like doing that, it'll be fun to experiment with new meals. So I want to try to make 1 new meal per month, which I feel like is not a big task. 1 new meal. There's 30 to 31 days in a month. I can make one new meal. Travel. I potentially want to travel to Europe twice this year. We're actually going to Mallorca for a wedding, which is really exciting. We potentially also want to travel to Italy this year. That one's TBD for various reasons, but I just wanted to put it on there because we're manifesting a trip to Italy in addition to Mallorca. I want to visit some new states, basically states that are around Utah that are driving distance. I want to visit Wyoming, which we actually have a trip there scheduled, so stay tuned because travel vlogs coming your way. I want to visit Montana and then Idaho, because I've actually heard Idaho is like all the rage and really cool. And when you think of Idaho, you think of potatoes and you think of flat ground, but I think there's like more to it than that. And I just feel like it'd be a really cool state to visit. So hopefully we'll get the chance to visit it this year because it's a very short drive. Like it's literally the border of Idaho, I think is like 2.5 hours away. Next is to visit 2 new national parks. So we have Arches National Park and Bryce Canyon National Park, which are 2 parks in Utah. Utah like sneakily has, I think, 4 national parks in the state. We did Zion last year. Zion. People from Utah are gonna get mad at me for calling it Zion, but I feel like Zion is kind of weird. We did Zion last year. I want to try to do Arches this year and Bryce Canyon. Financial, I'm just going to share the number because transparently this is how much I have left on my car loan. So I want to try to pay off my car this year. And I think that with the plan that I have set out, I will be able to pay off my car this year. It's not really a debt that I need to pay off. I feel like it's a good and healthy debt to have because I am able to make the payments on it every single month. Any sort of debt that I have really looms over my head, whether it is a small amount on my credit card to a large amount like my car payment. I think that I would just love to pay off the car so that next year the money that I'm putting towards my car I can put in a savings account to potentially like buy a house one day, for example. So I think that just like paying this off and getting it out of the way would be really, really nice. Next, I want to put $5,000 in my high yield savings account. This may seem like a small amount to some, but between paying off my car, putting money in my high yield savings account, and then also putting money in my short-term savings account, which you'll see is the next one, it is a lot of money. I feel like $5,000 for my high yield savings and then $5,000 for my short-term savings are both good goals to work towards. The difference between my high yield savings and my short-term savings, because I have 2 different savings accounts if you're curious. High yield savings is long-term. I like never touch the money in that account. I just put it in there and watch it grow, and it's for bigger purchases one day, like a house, or if we for some reason had to buy a car, anything of that sort. It's just money that sits there and I don't touch, and it accumulates interest every single month too, so I try to just like keep it there. My short-term savings is for things that may be unexpected or like things that I'm planning for but are kind of more short-term. So taxes, for example, I always end up owing money on my taxes. Shout out content creation. It's one of the parts of content creation that they don't talk about, is that if you do content creation, 9 times out of 10 you're not getting money back on your taxes every year. You owe money to the government. So I always put away money for my taxes every year. We have emergency fund just in case something were to happen with like the car or something of that sort. And then wedding things. Moving down, we have hobbies. I want to get creative with photography again and actually post the pictures. I love photography, guys. I've loved photography since high school. Not even since high school. Since I was little. Like since I was little, I have been carrying a camera around. I have some of the most embarrassing pictures ever from when I was younger because I've always carried a camera around and just like have taken pictures of the most random shit. So I just want to like really dive into photography again. I feel like I kind of started doing it towards the end of 2025. As you guys know, I bought the Fujifilm X-T50 and I've been loving that camera, but I just want to use it more often and get more creative with it. So that's a big goal for 2026. Next is to continue needlepointing. We went on the whole needlepointing tangent yesterday, so I won't rehash that, but I'm just having fun with it and I would like to continue it. Next is to read 24 books. So that's about 2 books a month. I haven't decided if this is going to be a hefty goal or not yet, because typically I do read an average of 24 to 25 books a year. It used to be a lot more than that. I've cut back. But I have so many other hobbies that I'm interested in right now that reading has kind of taken a back seat transparently. So I haven't decided if this is a hefty goal or not, but we're going to shoot for 24 books and see what we end up landing on by the end of the year. Work-wise, these are kind of like, I don't know, more so like mantras for the year rather than goals, but they are goals as well. It's just a friendly reminder to myself. First one is to be more confident and assertive. I have a habit of like not wanting to make people angry, upset, or annoyed, and in my job, for lack of a better term, you are nagging people a lot because you're following up on deliverables, you're asking questions, you're tracking things down, and my work can't be done without help and assistance of other people. So a lot of the times I really struggle with in this job feeling very naggy and very annoying. And I just want to stop feeling that way. Like, this is my job. This is what I get paid to do. This is what I've worked towards. If someone finds me annoying, that is not my problem. And that is more of a reflection of them rather than me. And I just want to keep that in mind. Obviously, I don't want to intentionally be annoying and intentionally make people mad and intentionally like be that person at work that people don't want to talk to or try to avoid. At the same time, there needs to be some sort of happy medium where I need to be confident in speaking my mind and reaching out to people without feeling annoying, and then also like respecting other people's space. So I think there's some sort of happy medium, but I just want to work on that this year. Second one kind of goes with the first one. It's don't be afraid to ask the dumb questions. Again, I just at work sometimes feel nervous to not only annoy people or nag people, but also I'm afraid of looking stupid because I do transparently work with a lot of people that are significantly older than me and have a lot of experience in the field that I'm in, and I feel like if I ask a question that everybody knows the answer to except for me, it makes me look really stupid. But also at the same time, how am I going to know the answer to that unless I ask the question? And also there might be someone else who is also afraid to speak up that doesn't know the answer to the question, that is waiting for someone else to speak up so that they can learn. So I just want to be that person this year. I feel like no question is a dumb question unless it literally is a dumb question, but I just don't want to be afraid to ask the dumb questions anymore. And I don't even think they should be dumb. I just like don't want to be afraid to ask questions, period. And then third goal is to figure out my next career move, which is to stay put in my role and continue to grow, move up, aka get some sort of promotion, or move out, which would be finding a new job basically. I'm not really sure. At this point in time, I obviously just got my PMP and I think that that was a big stepping stone. So I don't know if I want to stay in this role and apply my PMP skills to continue to grow and eventually grow out of the role, or if I want to take a risk and like pitch myself for promotion, or if I'm just ready for a new opportunity. I don't know, but I feel like I need to figure that out this year and figure out like what my career looks like long term and like what I want the next steps to be. So that's a big goal. And then we have a miscellaneous category just because I don't know like what these really fall into, but I definitely wanted to make a note of them. First is wedding planning. That's obviously a big goal this year, is to get a big chunk of wedding planning done. I left this goal very vague because we are a year and a half out from the wedding potentially. We haven't even secured a date or venue yet. So I just want to make wedding planning like a goal and a priority this year to knock as much out as possible. Two is to try camping, possibly. I'm not a camper. I'm more of a glamper. I love AC, I love a bathroom, I love heat, I love a bed, and thus far in my life, I have had no desire to camp. With that being said, we did move to a state where camping is very prominent, especially in the summer. It is a big activity to do. A lot of my friends camp. John has a desire to camp, and so it is a goal to maybe try camping this year. We shall see. I'm more outsidey than I am outdoorsy. I will have to say that. Third is to move into a house/apartment long term. This one's funny because this has been a goal for the past 2 or 3 years. 2024, this was on my goal list. 2025, this was on my goal list. And now it is on my goal list for 2026. So we shall see what happens. But I think that it would be fun to move into a house or an apartment for at least, like, when I say long term, I mean a year. Except that at this point, a year is long term for us because we've been signing like 6 months leases or even shorter than that. A year in one place would be nice. Stay tuned, because I don't know how that's going to happen or when that's going to happen or if it's going to happen, but we're putting it on here to manifest. The very last goal that I have is dress up, get ready more often. I just feel like I need to, I don't know, look more presentable sometimes, and I don't because I work from home. I have a really bad habit of staying in sweatshirts and sweatpants and leggings and not doing my hair, not doing my makeup, and just looking and feeling gross. But I feel like when I dress up and get ready, I feel more confident and am more confident and I feel more like myself. So I just want to make it a goal this year to dress up and get ready more often and have fun with my style again. I actually do really love fashion. I started this channel with not only vlogs, but I was doing like fashion hauls all the time. I was doing outfits of the day, and I've since kind of moved away from that content, but it's because I don't really have a reason to shop as much as I was shopping in New York, and then also dressing up as much as I was dressing up in New York. So I just want to make it a goal again to dress up more and get ready and feel comfortable leaving the house in the outfits that I'm in and like have fun with fashion again, basically. Those are all my goals for 2026. Like I said, they're more so fun goals to have rather than I must complete these by the end of the year or I'm gonna hate myself goals. I just think that it'd be something fun to work towards and something fun to continue to look at throughout the year and reflect back on at the end of the year. So those are my goals for 2026, and that is like kind of my wrap up for 2025. And with that being said, I now officially need to get back to work. That was a fun chit chat. I always love sharing my goals, and I also love like watching videos where other people share their goals because it gives me inspiration for my goals, and I just like to see like what people are looking to achieve in the new year. I think it's kind of fun. So I hope you enjoyed this like little goal setting chit chat, whatever you want to call it. At what point should I stop saying Happy New Year to people when I message them? Because there are people that I haven't talked to in like 2 weeks, so obviously I haven't wished them a Happy New Year yet, but like I feel weird messaging people on Teams on a Wednesday on 1/7 and being like, Happy New Year, how was your break? But I also don't know how else to kick off the conversation because that's like the elephant in the room. It's the new year. Happy New Year. Anyways, happy Wednesday, you guys. I had such a relaxing, not really relaxing, but like uneventful rest of the day yesterday after I talked about my 2025 reflection and 2026 goals. I wrapped up work for the day, and then I wish I was kidding when I say this, but I just hung out on the couch for the rest of the day, to be totally transparent. I feel like I've been really trying to rest and heal my body this week. One, because I am in a boot, so it's like hard to do things and walk around, but two, because I took the gnarly fall on Saturday, my body does just feel super sore. Like my neck still isn't 100%, my knee still isn't 100%, and so while I'd love to go out and do things and get a workout in, whether it's just like an arm workout or an ab workout, I feel like the universe is telling me that I need to not do that. I've had 2 weeks of rest, but not just an uneventful rest. Like I was sick, and then I've been in this boot this entire time, and then when I got back and I was finally feeling better, I crashed while skiing. So 1 more week of total rest and relaxation I feel like won't kill me. So that's what we're doing this week. Do you feel like I want to do something today after work, like be a little bit more productive than I've been? Also, our elevator is broken, and it is kind of a pain in the butt to walk up and down stairs with this boot on. So that's also another excuse for me not leaving the apartment yesterday, was that our elevator in our building is like still not fixed. So because of that, I'm staying put. It is a hike to go up and down the stairs with this boot, and it's like, it kind of hurts and it's uncomfortable. That's that. But I just want to pick up the camera and say happy Wednesday. Today's another pretty light meeting day. I think I literally only have 2 meetings. I do have quite a few things on my to-do list to tackle, so I just want to kind of knock them out this morning so that my afternoon is a little bit lighter. So I'm replying to some emails right now. I need to send out some meeting notes from yesterday. I need to send out an agenda for tomorrow's, 2 agendas actually, for calls tomorrow. I think that's it. I'm sure there'll be more things that pop up throughout the day, but I do have a handful of things that I just need to knock out this morning, so I'm going to do that. I wanted to pick up the camera, say happy Wednesday. Wow, she's actually out of the house for the first time this week. I wrapped up work for the day, and I am currently at my local L&S. I am a little bit nervous to go in there because I feel like I'm so new to Needlepoint that I'm gonna need a ton of help, and I just hope that she doesn't find it annoying. But that was one of my 2026 New Year's resolutions / goals, is to not feel like I'm annoying anyone and be more confident. I had that goal for work obviously, but I feel like I just need that goal in my everyday life too. That's what they're there for, is to help me. So I'm just gonna go in, I'm gonna be confident, and I'm gonna get some fun threads and potentially a new canvas. I'm looking to get threads for one of my New York canvases because I think I want to start on one of the New York ones that I showed next. I know I said I wanted to wait until I was a little bit more advanced to work on them, but I feel like I can do it. Like I was looking at it and I was like, you know what? I feel like I have the capability to do it, and if I learn along the way, I learn along the way. But also at the same time, if I go into this local Needlepoint store and they have a canvas that I like that's a little bit easier, I may just like splurge on another canvas and do that one. Stay tuned, but I'm really excited. It seemed really cute online. It was kind of a hike, I will have to say, so I do hope it's worth it, but there are not that many Needlepoint stores in Salt Lake City, so I'm just really hoping that I like this one because I will definitely be frequenting it if I do end up liking it. So I'll check back in after and we'll have to see. That was the cutest store ever, and the lady, I don't know if she's the owner or if she just works there, literally so helpful and so sweet. I went in there to get threads for this project, and I walked out with an entirely different project and entirely different threads and spent way too much money. Okay, let's just do a haul here. I found this little beginner guide to needle pointing and like what threads that you need on Pinterest. I'll actually pop it up here instead of me showing you guys on my phone. I'll pop a picture up here, and it tells you like what threads and what needle you need for the size canvas that you do, because there's either 13 mesh or 18 mesh. The first needlepoint canvas that I did was 13 mesh, so this will be my first 18 mesh canvas. I was literally just looking at this canvas online today when I was doing needlepoint research, and I'm so glad that she had it in store. She had so many good canvases from so many brands that I love, but you guys know that right now my obsession is Morgan Julia Designs. That's like where all my canvases are from. It's a little iced coffee canvas. How freaking cute is that? I wanted this one and the Diet Coke one. She said that she does get the Diet Coke one in occasionally. She like always puts in a back order for it. It sells out so fast because it's so popular. That one and this one apparently are really, really popular. So I'm really excited that I got my hands on the iced coffee one, and then I got a ton of threads to go with it. Guys, I have so many shades of brown at this point. If there's one thing that I won't need for my next project, it's to get brown thread. And then I got a needle minder because I needed one. Anyways, I did officially lose my first needle pointing the other day. Have no clue where it is. Just really hope that neither of us end up stepping on it. So I got a little espresso martini needle minder. Very on brand for me. I'm gonna start on this literally the second I get home. I think I want to make it into a bag charm for my LL Bean boat taupe type thing that my sister got me. It has John's last name on it, which will be my future last name, obviously. I'm so excited about this. It was so cute. Like, I already want to go back, and she said that if you ever have any questions, like, you can feel free to stop by and she'll help answer. She had like a whole back room with a huge table, and when I came in, there was a lady sitting back there needle pointing, and she was like asking the woman that worked there for help. So it's just so wholesome, and I love it. Like, I'm obsessed. And there were other girls that were in there that were, I'm assuming, my age, like also getting their first canvases and asking for advice. So I love that this is like a huge hobby that's currently taking over the market and growing. I just love that that was a positive experience, and it made me so happy. Now I need to run to Target and pick up some face wipes. I'm like out of my skincare face wipes. Not even face wipes, face towels. The stuff that I use after I wash my face. I can't remember the name of it. They only sell it at Target, and I've been out for a few days and I've been using washcloths, and I've noticed that my face is starting to break out from it. So I'm just going to run to Target since it's on the way back home anyways, and then we will head back. Okay, we are off. The day has come. We are officially taking the tree down. I bought this little ornament organizer off of Amazon. It's just like a collapsible box, and it has a ton of space. So I'm just going to take all of the ornaments off the tree. These are also ornaments underneath the tree that we need to kind of like unpackage and put away. And we will be saying bye to the Christmas tree, or at least I'm putting the ornaments away right now. I may need to wait till John gets back from the gym to actually take the tree down because it's in different parts, and I just feel like I don't know if I can do it myself. I might try, but if anything, I'll just get like a good chunk of it done so that he can do the boy part after. I don't even know if you can tell on camera, but it's finally snowing outside. This is the first snow that I've at least seen in Salt Lake City. Exciting times. Also update, because I feel like I started showing you guys me taking the Christmas tree down and then just totally ghosted you all, but I did take all the ornaments off. I told John that I need his help taking the actual Christmas tree down. So it is still up, but it's kind of a vibe in the apartment, but it will be coming down by end of this weekend at least. I don't know when we're gonna take it down, but it needs to come down. I don't know why I gravitate towards the floor when I go to give updates, but I think it's just because I enjoy sitting on the floor. My sister and I used to lay on the floor a lot when we were little, and I feel like out of habit, I'm now just like the most comfortable sitting on the floor. Happy Thursday, you guys. First time I've picked up the camera all day today, and it is literally the end of my work day. It's been a weird day with meetings where I'll have a meeting and then I'll have an hour break, and then I'll have another meeting and then I'll have an hour break, and this went on all day. But I just wrapped up my last meeting of the day. I am gonna wait to send out notes for it until tomorrow because I'm waiting on a presentation from someone, but she's like finishing it up. I can't even send it out until tomorrow, which means for the most part I am done. And it has been decently chill day with work, just meetings. Can't really complain there. But yeah, so that's been my work day. It's snowing outside like I just showed you guys for the first time all season. Well, at least in Salt Lake City. It's obviously snowed up in the mountains. This is the first time that I've seen snow. It's actually like sticking to places in the actual city, and it's really interesting because it'll go from being sunny to hailing to then snowing really hard, and then it'll be sunny again, and then it'll start flurrying, and it's been in this like weird pattern all day, which I don't really mind it. It's obviously like really pretty to look at, and this is what we've been asking for because we've had like no snow regarding skiing and everything's kind of icy. But I feel like this week is like gonna change the game, and this is when the actual ski season starts. So in terms of skiing, very exciting that it's snowing. Regarding driving around in the snow, not super excited about that. I'm actually going out to dinner with a friend tonight. We haven't caught up in about maybe a month or so. So we're gonna go try this Mexican restaurant downtown called, I think it's Sol Agave. And it is a chain-ish. I think the only other locations are in California, like San Diego, LA, and maybe one more. So this is the first location in Utah, and it has pretty good reviews. So I'm really excited to go and try it out. I've been craving like good Mexican food for a few weeks now, and I obviously haven't seen her in a minute, so it'll be nice to catch up. I'm not looking forward to driving in the snow if this sticks. If it's just flurrying and it's not sticking, no problemo. I'm concerned about the road conditions with the snow. I just have like snow and car trust issues, and it's not even necessarily with my car, it's like other drivers on the road. So I'm kind of hoping that it doesn't stick to the streets or the sidewalks, because also I'm in a boot. Really don't want to slip and fall. I digress. That's not until 6:30, and it's 3 o'clock right now, so I have a few hours before I even need to think about getting ready and doing that whole thing. I wanted to give you guys a needlepoint update because I started my canvas yesterday, and guys, I'm obsessed with her. I did have to improvise a little bit with the colors. I don't know if I talked about that yesterday at all, but the shades up here, basically cream to dark brown and then light gray to dark gray, and they didn't really have any gray threads in the store yesterday, so I improvised and went with like a grayish blue, and I'm actually really liking the way that it's turning out. During my downtime today, like after lunch when I like had a few minutes before my next meeting, I did a little bit of needle pointing. So for the most part, I finished the outline of the cup minus the straw, and then I was starting to work on the inside. Like, I don't know what that's supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be like a little glare or like cream or something. You're supposed to work, this is what I've heard, so don't come at me if I'm wrong, but you're supposed to work with like your lightest threads to your darkest threads, because if you do it opposite, your dark threads could bleed into your light threads when you're doing your light threads, something like that. So I'm trying to do it. I did the lightest shade of blue, doing the lightest shade of cream, then I might go in and do white next because there's quite a few white spaces in the lid. John's on a call, so I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. He's talking really loud. Just two work from home buddies talking over each other all day. It's been way over 24 hours since I picked up the vlog, so let's do a little catch up. Yesterday, I think the last place I left off was that I was going to get dinner with a friend. We did end up going. We went to the Mexican restaurant. It was pretty good. They had us sitting by the door though, and it was freezing last night, so that was the only downside, but it was pretty packed for Thursday. Like, I was actually genuinely surprised. And I would go back. Like, the food was pretty good, the atmosphere was good, and it was nice to catch up with a friend, so I'm glad that that happened. Today, I worked. It was actually really busy for a Friday. I like worked nonstop at my desk from 7 a.m. to noon or 1 today, and typically I only have like 1 or 2 things to do on a Friday, but I had 2 meetings and then, no, 3 meetings. I had 3 meetings and then a bunch of notes that I had to send out and just like things that I needed to clean up for the weekend so that my to-do list was completely checked off. I didn't want to carry that much over, to be totally transparent. I want to start Monday fresh. So it was a chill work day. Then after work, did a little bit of needle pointing. I watched the 2nd episode of season 4 of Traitors. I'm so happy that that show is back on my television. Guys, I'm rooting for Rob from Love Island. I'm Team Traitor, specifically because he's the traitor, and I just feel like they could not have casted a more perfect person to be a traitor. I can't explain it, but he just screams traitor to me. So I'm loving this new season. Also, they've like changed the rules a little bit, and I feel like it just makes it more entertaining. I like when shows do a switch up, but do a switch up in a way that still upholds the original plotline, storyline, and rules of the show, but like with little twists here and there. Like, I don't know, I just am like really enjoying it. I haven't watched episode 3 yet. I'll probably do that tomorrow or Sunday or something, but I'm definitely savoring it because I'm just obsessed. We went to the movies tonight as a little date night. We went and saw The Housemaid. I read the Housemaid book years and years and years ago. Like, it was one of the first books I think I picked back up when I was in the beginning of my reading era, and definitely one of the first thrillers, and I remember really, really loving it. I think I gave it 4 or 5 stars. I'd have to look back on my Goodreads because I read it so long ago. I didn't really remember a lot of the storyline. Like, I remembered the gist of it, but I didn't remember every single detail, so it was kind of like going into the movie with fresh eyes and like a fresh memory, and it like the movie kind of refreshed what I read in the book. Although I did hear that The ending of the book is different than the ending of the movie. I cannot confirm or deny that because I do not remember the ending of the book. When I was watching the ending of the movie, I do remember parts of the ending of the movie being in the book. So I don't know if like the entire ending was different or just parts of it, but I have heard that the ending was different. Overall, I liked it. I thought it was kind of cheesy. I knew when I was watching it that it wasn't going to be like a nominated, like award-winning movie. I do think that they portrayed the book really well, and I really liked all of the cast for the movie. I feel like they did a really good job casting it. That was a fun date night, and I'm glad I got to see it because I've been wanting to see it like literally since it came out. I think over Christmas or before Christmas? No, over Christmas, and we just never got around to it. We also wanted to have an early night tonight because we are skiing super early tomorrow. We're going to Deer Valley and are gonna have a ski day with some friends, so I didn't want to do anything too crazy tonight. I feel like going to the movies is always like a very chill activity. I've been really enjoying going to the movies. I didn't like do it that much when we lived in New York, but since we moved to Utah, and I guess we didn't even do it in Denver. It's just mainly like a Utah thing. And I guess we did it a few times in Virginia, but I just feel like it's a fun way to switch up date nights, and it's a very calm, chill activity for a weekend. And now I'm getting ready for bed. I wanted to officially end off this vlog though, instead of just randomly ending it after my spiel yesterday about me going out to dinner. I wanted to give you guys a little recap and officially say goodbye. Hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. I know it was a very long one. I think when I was editing this yesterday, it was already at like 55 minutes, so we're probably over an hour now. So hope you guys enjoyed the long video. It probably won't be like this every single time, but I had a lot to yap about this week, and it's just a lot to catch you guys up on. So I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.